Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Gabby and today's video is going to be about 75 hard. So on Instagram, I basically asked if anybody had any questions about 75 hard and we did get some. So here we go. What kept me motivated? Truthfully, I guess we should start with why I wanted to do 75 hard in the first place. And the main reason was I wanted to force myself to post consistently onto TikTok. I've gone through phases this year of posting consistently like every day for like 2-3 months and then I'll stop, and I just wanted to really force myself to be posting content that I felt like could inspire somebody, and it showed like my day-to-day life because I really do enjoy vlog content. I will preface this also by saying that 75 hard was something that I was gradually doing. I started earlier this year, technically December of last year. The last day of 2023 was spent me starting my strength training journey. I'm the type of person that's like, I'm going to start whenever I want to start versus like waiting for a reason to start. So I actually also quit drinking around December 17th of last year. Why wait for the new year? Why not start now? So when it came to 75 hard, there were a lot of things that I had already been doing. So the transition wasn't as extreme. I had already been basically doing maybe like about an hour at the gym. And then I would also go for walks anywhere between like 30 to 45 minutes. So that already being a part of my mostly daily life, it wasn't a hard transition jumping into 75 hard. I also was reading easily over 10 pages of fiction. So that also wasn't very hard for me. I've gone back and forth this year between reading fiction and nonfiction, mostly fiction. So I guess in this challenge, it was like having to hold myself accountable of reading 10 pages a day of nonfiction, because some of that stuff can be kind of dense and like brutal, to be honest, to go through. But thankfully I had books that were like pretty interesting. That's honestly what was one of my favorite things about 75 hard, was forcing myself to read. I do miss that. Are you sad it's over? Yes and no. I, at first, like if you would have asked me this, I'd be like, no, I'm not sad it's over. I'm glad it's over. Like I'm tired. I was getting so tired towards the end, especially with traveling to Mexico City. And at some point I had traveled to Ohio and Michigan while also doing 75 hard. And those trips were very challenging, and I found myself getting like a cold towards the end of it, and I knew it was because of lack of sleep, because since I was posting every day on top of traveling and getting my workouts in, I really was sleeping maybe 4 or 5 hours a day. And if one thing that 75 hard has taught me, it's that you really need sleep. You really need rest. Rest is so important. I do miss it. I miss going to the gym consistently. I have taken some breaks. If I do go now, it's been more cardio because I treated myself to some tattoos. So I really couldn't go to the gym for the first 2 days. You know, they were like, no sweating, like, you know, you gotta let them heal, whatever. And so now that I've been able to lift, today's actually my first day getting back into the gym lifting. It feels so good. It feels so good. I feel so much better mentally. And the weather's been really nice. So I'm like, oh, I kind of want to take advantage of it and go for a walk. So I would say that it has instilled in me how important it is to take care of your body. And I really like that. I really enjoy that. I think you should be a priority to yourself mentally, physically, and emotionally. And you have to hold yourself accountable to do those things because no one else is going to do it for you. Was there a specific workout plan you followed to start? No, I already had been doing research. Again, I started my fitness journey, I would say like at the beginning of this year / into last year. So I already would like hit legs like 2-3 times a week, and then fill it in with like arms and like occasionally core. I will say that during 75 hard, I started lifting and focusing more on my upper body than my lower body. Since I was working out every day, I was just lifting a lot more. And I would say that like 80% of 75 hard was me lifting. I did do some yoga some days, but I would just say like a large majority of it was me going to the gym and lifting. So no, there wasn't a specific workout plan I followed, but there are a lot of fitness influencers that I do follow, and I have learned a lot from them. And I think the biggest thing that I've learned is to lift till failure. And another thing too is your diet. And that's also another thing that I really loved about 75 hard is it really forced me to like take a look at what I was eating. And I eat pretty healthy for the most part. I would say like I really don't cave in to sweets. Like I don't even really drink caffeine. I recently started getting into matcha, but like I don't drink coffee. I didn't have not one energy drink while doing 75 hard. So kind of cool to have done it like uncaffeinated. And a lot of people take pre-workout and all these things, and I didn't do that. Truthfully, if you get enough sleep, you don't need caffeine. What was the hardest part mentally? That's a good question. I think it's getting over like, oh, I'm so tired, I don't want to go, or like maybe you feel anxious that day. I had to go to the gym on my cycle. Like honestly, the first day of 75 hard was day 2 of my cycle. I was like, I need to get started. I need to do this because it was one of my goals from the start of the new year. And then sure enough, fall started hitting and I'm like, oh crap, I got to start now. That way I finish before winter's in like full effect. So I actually finished 75 hard at the very last day of November. So yeah, I guess the hardest part mentally is just yourself. Like you're your own biggest obstacle. And I think this challenge really put that to the test. Do you feel the changes? What changes do you feel? Yeah, I feel thicker. I feel like curvier. I feel stronger. I feel a lot happier. I've even noticed a difference in my skin, in my confidence levels. I had started my fitness journey because I had gained a lot of unhealthy weight last year. It's what we call happy comfort weight. And I had gained a lot of that. And I was drinking, more frequently and drinking more beer. And I also didn't have a full body mirror in the house. Like it was only in a public space. So I didn't see myself nude. So I didn't know how I was looking. I just knew that I felt like curvy. I felt thicker. I felt fuller. And I definitely was super happy. I wasn't really looking at the way I looked. Literally the bathroom mirror, I could literally see like shoulders up. So I had genuinely no idea what my body was looking like. And not that there was any problem with the way that I looked. I just knew that I wanted to gain the weight back healthier. And I definitely feel like I'm on the right track. And I like the feeling of having some weight to me. I was so skinny growing up and I filmed the entire YouTube video about that. Didn't end up finishing editing it, but it's on my sister's computer. So I'll be going home for the holidays and hopefully I'll be able to send it to myself. That way I can finish that up. But it's like a whole YouTube video talking about like my fitness journey, like an eating disorder, like all this stuff. Was it worth it and why? Yes, I think so. I think it was worth it because it really allowed for me to prove to myself that I can genuinely do anything I set my mind to. And for so long, I convinced myself, like, nobody cares. Like, even with 75 hard, I'm like, nobody cares. Why are you posting every day? Like, people want you to fail. Like my brain was being mean to me. And then slowly but surely I started getting messages from so many people saying like, hey, you inspired me to start going to the gym. Hey, you've inspired me to start 75 soft. Hey, you're inspiring me to take care of myself. Or like, I really look forward to your daily TikToks. And it was such a heartfelt feeling and everything just felt so genuine that like, that was also a big part of my motivation was that like, I could see this domino effect that I was having onto other people's mental and physical health. And it's just a really good feeling to know that you're inspiring somebody. So, okay, this one's slightly different from the other one. So not what kept you motivated, what motivated you. I think me. Like I was my own biggest motivation and I needed to prove something to myself. And I needed to prove to myself that I could do it. That I was holding myself back, like I've mentioned. And that's what this challenge really did for me. It showed me that if I genuinely want to accomplish something, I can do it. It's going to take time, but I can do it. And I think that's just such a comforting feeling to know is that like, it's just you, babe. It's just you. It's you against the world, and it's up to you to decide what you want to get out of it, and you got to do what you got to do to accomplish whatever goals you have. And to everybody who messaged me saying, I'm so proud of you, congratulations, you've inspired me, any heartfelt message that I've got, I truly appreciate it. And to the people who like were consistently cheering me on, thank you so much. I am so proud of myself, and I get to say I did it. And I think that that's a huge thing that I like to do is I like to be able to say that I've done things. And that's something that I can cross off like my life bucket list. If I did do it again. So I also had like subconscious goals with this. I also was doing a Sudoku puzzle every day. I was also doing my Duolingo every day on top of 75 hard. And then the water, you're supposed to drink like a gallon of water a day. I would say I was loosely following that. The nurses in my life were like, you really shouldn't drink a gallon of water a day. And you're supposed to follow like a strict diet. For me, it was just giving up pork. In the back of my head, I was like, oh, I want to hit 10,000 steps a day. I want to hit my protein goal every day. And that's just so hard to do. I mean, there were days where I would go to the gym and do a 45-minute walk and I was still at like 7,000 steps. And I'm like, bro, how many calories do I need to burn? How many more steps do I have to do to try to hit 10,000? Like, I just knew that if I kept that up, I was really, really, really going to burn myself out so much sooner. I would say for the most part, my average ended up being 10 to 11,000 steps for the whole 75 hard. But again, it was an average. It was not what was happening on the daily. Start small, build the consistency, and then you'll gradually be able to increase your time in the gym, increase your stamina, all of those things. I just honestly feel more motivated now than ever to really take care of myself, because the more that you put into yourself, the more you get out and the more that you can give to other people. And I think that that has like rung true so much throughout 75 hard. I think more often than not, we don't give ourselves enough credit. And if you just go out for a walk for 5 minutes a day, that is a huge improvement from the day before. Thank you to everybody who submitted a question. I already went to the gym this morning. It was glute day, and it was so good to be back in the gym and to actually be lifting weights. Thank you all for watching. I hope that you all have a fantastic day. Bye.